how many times do you think over 2 or under 2 that I was recognized in Portugal? And it could be by American tourists as well.
Over.
Under. Look how I'm dressed, you idiots.
Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show.
Welcome to Tosh Show.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
Ooh, Louis Armstrong. You like Louis, Eddie?
I like Louis.
Man, his voice. When you listen to him sing, it's hard not to feel like, is he doing a bit?
He does sound very like...
Are there like white producers, like racist white producers in the back going, yeah, go with that. That's great. Or is it a beautiful voice and it's just of a time that doesn't hold up today? I don't know.
But I do love it.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be doing a Louis Armstrong impression.
Well, I think if you tell people that's what you're doing, you're okay.
Yeah, that's Louis Armstrong.
There you go. He's not just being a crazy person over here.
How did, what's his name? Who's the original singer? Fats
Domino?
Fats Domino. How did he sound?
Barry.
I don't know. I can't in my head think how Fats Domino sounded, but Louis' version, man. Then, of course, Elvis did a version, as he always did, stealing the cool from black people.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of racist, our president, as bad as I think he is, and as much as I give it to him for broken promises after broken promises, I will say this. I do hope he has a healthy 3.5 years of this final term.
Why so?
Because, Eddie, I wasn't going to end it at that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you got something coming here. All right.
Because heaven help us if Vance were given the keys to the car. I mean, this dipshit is off the charts. Everything you need to know about Vance can be summed up in him dropping the national championship trophy. That's just who he is. I'm this dipshit. Ugh. I mean, I'm not. This isn't a unique take. I believe everyone hates this man.
I think so, yeah.
His wife hates him. I think Republicans, for the most part, are like, oh, no, he's not our guy. Anybody that read that memoir? Did you read his book?
No.
But you own a copy.
No.
I just see he had balance out. The bed's kind of like wobbly. It's got a leg.
You got a wobbly bed?
Yeah, I got to put it underneath the leg.
Not wobbly.
That's fucking crazy that a memoir could balance out.
Perfect size.
Somebody that once went by initials. I had a roommate, an older roommate. His name was Daniel, and my father was Daniel, and one of my closest friends was Daniel. I went by DT for a long time. Some close friends still call me DT, but in general, if you have like little initials, you're kind of a fucking idiot. You know what his real name is? James David Vance, JD. I don't like anybody that tries to bumpkin up their name. The only name that I remotely appreciate that's kind of bumpkined up is old cousin Baby Billy. And see, now they're like, hey, how do we mock these stupid people? Well, why don't we call him cousin Baby Billy? Oh, all right.
They did it.
What about JD Vance? Nah, it's too nail on head.
Yeah.
Let's go cousin Baby Billy. Nah, you guys don't want to hear my elitist views on things. Speaking of elitist, the White Lotus season 3. Are they still talking about all the shenanigans that happened behind the scenes during the filming? Here's what they should have done. They should have just filmed that and aired it. I'd much rather watch Bachelor in Paradise, White Lotus, Thailand. I don't know what you'd call it.
That's good.
Sounds like they were all just having fun. A couple married people doing what you do in Thailand, pretending you are that little Asian girl. I didn't enjoy the season, but I didn't not enjoy it. Like I watched it and I was like, okay, this hotel kind of annoys me. I don't want to stay there after I see it.
Mm-mm.
I don't know how somebody that murdered somebody at one of these hotels goes and buys a property at another one of their locations and doesn't think that might come back to haunt him.
It's very true. Like,
Why wouldn't he be like, well, I can't. That's a great deal, but can't be the same property. If I killed my wife at a Marriott,
right.
you can just kiss those points goodbye. I'm never going to redeem them. Those points are gone forever.
It's just, you got to change properties.
Yeah. Speaking of a bunch of rich white people on vacation, who wants to hear about mine? Enjoy.
Tosh Show.
Guys, I'm back from vacation. Now, you didn't even notice because the people behind the scenes keep this show just churning. But last week, Eddie and I went to work in New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. And then we parted ways. Eddie went to Rome, and I went to Portugal. This is how I dress when I'm in Portugal.
I like it.
Well, sure you do. I look sophisticated.
Yeah, you do.
I blend in. People speak to me in Portuguese. They don't come at me
That's
with
a
English.
good sign. I like that.
Oh, they're happy to see me. But before we get into it, Eddie, let's tell people how the shows in New York went. See, I went to New York first because my wife and I had some meetings. By the way, when you go to New York City and you haven't been in a while, it does take you a few minutes to go, oh, I forgot. Everything is filthy.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I bring my good sneakers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Just as soon as I got there, I was like, oh, it's been raining. And I've got beautiful brand new sneakers on. This is disgusting. Well, we had some meetings. That's always stressful. I was meeting with book publishers.
Mm.
My wife and I are going to write a book together. It's purely sexual. That's not what the book's about. Whatever. These meetings, you sit in there and they bring in some book publishers and you get like 30 minutes to an hour with them and you just try to be funny, I guess. I don't know. They're like, which one did you gel the most with? I'm like, I don't know. Which one's going to pay me the most? I'll figure out the gelling later.
Yeah.
Anyway, my wife is really good in the meetings. I was probably better, but that's, I've got more experience. But she held her own. We had written samples of what we would bring to the table, and they were blown away. Then they came to our show that night. Well, not all of them, but the ones that we liked, we offered them tickets. The ones that seemed like they were just kicking the tires, nah, you're not getting free tickets, especially when I'm sold out. I get a percentage of that door. Anyway, if you were to ask me of the 5 shows that we did, Eddie, which was my least favorite, I would say hands down the first show in New York City.
Okay.
Because that was the only one that I had pressure on. The rest of them, I was loose as a goose. Here's another thing. One of the head promoters came out to see me in New York, and we were talking. He's like, oh, you going to wear that tomorrow in New Jersey? I had like a pink jacket on or something. I'm like, I don't know. He was like, those people. We were in New Brunswick,
Right.
New Jersey. I'm going to say they were great.
Yep.
It was wonderful. The people there were great.
Great size theater, too.
The theater was beautiful. 2 shows. Was it my best show? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to say it was my best show in New Jersey. Then we went to Philly. Got ourselves a cheesesteak. Where did we get cheesesteaks at from, Eddie?
oh, brother.
Is that a good place, Eddie?
I mean, I feel like they're all the same.
Oh, shit. By the way, that day before the Philly show was on a Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
On the way there, we had, from New York City, we had gotten 2 large pizzas from a place that we like. We were eating the pizzas on the drive there, and then we did the show, and then on the way back, we were eating cheesesteaks. That is disgusting.
And the ride
And then
there.
the next day, Eddie pulls off arguably the greatest father/husband bullshit move of all time. Let me explain this to people. We're doing these shows. We kind of hubbed in New York. We bopped around and did these shows. And then we were taking our families on vacation, separate vacations. I'm taking my family to Portugal, and Eddie's taking his family to Rome. And we don't bring our families to the same places because Eddie doesn't like his kids to see how much better my kids have it.
What life could be like.
Right. And I respect that.
Thank you.
I respect that. So we always are like, well, we'll go similar places, but let's not have too much overlap because he's trying to raise well-rounded kids, and I don't give a shit what happens to mine. All right. We are going to go straight from New York City to Lisbon. Easy 6-hour flight. Eddie's family is going to Rome. But what does Eddie do? By the way, his kids aren't young. My kids are 2 and 6. His kids are, let me just guess right now, 16 and 18.
Perfect guess.
Okay,
Look at
16 and 18. This is what Eddie does. For his wife and children, he flies New York to LA, has 5 hours to kill at LAX before boarding the family's plane nonstop to Rome. He went 5 hours backwards and then another 5.5. Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard? I would leave my family if they ever suggested that, hey, would you be interested in fucking up your entire week by giving yourself the most horrible experience ever?
Oh my God.
And did you go home on that 5-hour little layover? Or
No.
You stayed at the airport?
Stayed at the airport.
Oh, by the way, I just want everyone to know, Eddie lives maybe 15 minutes from LAX.
Yeah, but why go home and tease myself with a pillow? Maybe a bed.
You could have napped for 2 hours.
Probably could have, but international travel, you want to get there early.
How bad were you on that travel?
When I got to Rome, I was beat up. I was pretty tired.
How much time from when you landed till you said your first when in Rome joke?
You know what? I think I was so tired, I forgot to do it until the next day.
Oh, man. Oh, the next day.
I'll tell you this, though. The Spirit Airlines flight I took from New York to LA.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
You think he's being funny right now. He is not. He took Spirit Airlines from New York to Los Angeles. And if you don't know, Spirit Airlines is garbage. And I don't even care if they're a sponsor of our show.
Plug. This is a free plug.
There's no first class in Spirit. There's no business class.
No, they call it, what do they call it? Big Wide. Something. It's like a different name.
They call it Big Wide?
Yeah, the seats are better.
Were you in Big Wide?
I got Big Wide. Yeah, I did.
That is embarrassing.
I went
That
all
is
in.
humiliating. Everything you're saying makes me want this company to fail. And then what airline did you fly to Rome?
We took North Atlantic Airways.
And were you in Big Wide there or no?
Big Wide with reclining and
No, were you in business class?
it was like they call it Premium Flex Ultra. All the names are different on these airlines.
Wait, so it's not business. It's not
like
first class.
It is
not
first class.
It is first
It's
class?
their first class, yeah.
It's their first class.
Right. And then there's like that section and then
What
there's
number seat were you in?
row 7.
Okay, all right, fine. By the way, how was the trip with the family in Rome?
It was great. Loved it.
What'd you guys do?
A lot of tours, catacombs, took a cooking class. Probably the worst meal we had in Rome was the one that we prepared ourselves.
We do such different trips. Tour. I would never get in a tour.
We got to kind of go private tour. So it's just you.
No, I'm not going. I don't want to listen to somebody.
Oh. Well, yeah, you'd hate it then. You would have hated my trip.
This is what we do. We fly to Lisbon. I go to our hotel. I'm staying in a cool room that has 2 bedrooms, so my children are in one and I'm in the other, and I've got a balcony overlooking the rooftops of Lisbon. I see a castle lit up in the distance. There's a rooftop restaurant that we went to, and then it's nothing but spa appointments. I got a massage. I didn't enjoy my massage. The place is great, but their tables, I don't know if people in Portugal are smaller than me, but my leg was hanging off a good 1.5 feet. You can't have your shin just resting off the edge of a table for an 80-minute massage. And then when you scoot to your back, you even scoot further down. And now my knees, my legs are just hanging down like a little kid, just wiggling my legs up and down. Anyway, that's not the problem that I had in my massage. My masseuse clearly, before I came in, was pounding some salamis or some cold cuts. I don't know what she was eating.
Grabbing some bologna.
She was having some bologna because at one point I smelled something and I'm like, I think she just burped. and she held it in, but I could it was still wafting out occasionally. I'm like, maybe she didn't burp. But now I can't stop thinking about it for the next 80 minutes. I'm like, did she burp? And then at one point she hip checked the table real hard and it hurt her. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. Like my son can't walk past a coffee table without taking it to the shin. Oh, you know what? And one day my wife, oh man, holy cow, I'm still furious about this. You have to understand, I'm in tow are the in-laws. So I got two kids and then I've got 2 old kids. Somehow I'm responsible for all of them not being abducted. I have no special skills, yet I pull it off constantly. My wife said, we're going to go to this restaurant for lunch. I'm like, great. Where is it? Well, first we have to get on a ferry. Fuck.
A ferry.
What? There's like a delivery guy with his bike.
Yeah.
There are hundreds of people wedging in. Everybody's racing to get a window because it's inside, and so it's like smelly and gross.
Wharf hounds.
It's not good. I didn't enjoy being on this ferry, and I'm dressed like a fucking idiot. Look at me, and I've got little kids running everywhere, eating off the ferry floor. They don't care.
Yeah.
And we take this quick ferry. My father-in-law's always got interesting. Did you know that the first ferry was invented at the University of Florida? And I'm like, no, it wasn't.
No.
Just shut up. It wasn't invented at the University of Florida. Whatever. He's always got some dumb gator fact that I have to care about. Now, we get to the other side, and I'm like, okay, which way to this restaurant? She goes, well, it's this cool walk along the water, and there's tons of graffiti on those walls, and it's all the graffiti, I keep pointing out to my father-in-law, is just anti-American hate. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what Trump is bringing. This respect that the rest of the world, like, it is fresh American hate everywhere. You just see it. Anyway, sure enough, we start this walk, and there's a guy building a wall, a makeshift wall on this water pass, this sidewalk along the water. He's building a wall almost just like to stop us from going. He says, got to go this other way. We end up walking through not the nicest areas of town, and it's all uphill. And I got a father-in-law with one bad knee and one knee that he just replaced like 6 weeks ago. So it's just taking forever. Then I've got 2 children. Just one of them doesn't, will only, if he holds your hand, he's like pulling you down. So it's just, he falls on every cobblestone street. So he's just constantly crying because he's hurt. Whatever. I end up pushing up this mountain for 45 minutes. I get to the top of it. And then at the very top of it, there's 300 stairs that were built before codes were even a thing.
Oh, that's good.
And they're like, the restaurant is at the bottom of this. And I'm like, well, I can only save one person's life here. So I carry the stroller with my daughter in it, who's not sitting in the stroller. Like, she's leaning forward so the weight is off. It's just horrible the whole time. I make it down these stairs. And then on the way back, I say, I don't care what that guy said. We're going the other way. And we walk this river walk, and it was fine. There was like one pothole. So my wife basically made us walk 45 minutes around the city to avoid a pothole.
How was the food?
The food's good. I got some monkfish stew. It's for 2 people, so I tell my father-in-law, we're getting this monkfish stew. It's going to be great. Anyway, they bring this big crock pot. There's liver in this monkfish stew. That part I didn't like to eat. I made him eat it. He threw up a little bit in his mouth. But just huge portions. Oh, my goodness. And my mother-in-law, she can't wrap her head around any food that's not, from Long John Silver's. Well, she orders, I'll take the shrimp cocktail. Oh, do you have fried shrimp? Like, that's her meal everywhere. It's like, I can't. One time they brought her, she ordered fried shrimp, and they had tiny little shrimp, but the heads and everything were on it. And they're like, you're supposed to eat the whole thing, just crunch them up. And she just,
No way.
this is her for like, as soon as it was put in front of her, she was like, my wife the whole time was pretending to be Parker Posey from White Lotus, which was making me laugh, but my dirazepam. Okay, so I was only in Lisbon for a few days. That was just to get my bearings. Then we headed off to Comporta, which, you know, they say is the Hamptons of Portugal, which I don't know if that's a compliment or not because I hate the Hamptons. But we stayed at a beautiful place. It was nice. Although they don't heat their pools. They have one little tiny pool in the spa that's heated, but it's like, who wants to swim inside? I had a nice little 3-bedroom villa that my family and I were playing at. Oh, it was so beautiful. But my father-in-law, I put him in the biopool area. And that's like these outdoor ponds. They kind of have an area roped off that's your pool. Like your room is like a little cabana over the water, and there's earplugs because the frogs are so loud at night, but also there's supposed to be healing powers when you get in. But the water's cold, and he complains at anything that's not a jacuzzi. So I have forced him to jump in night one. But there's snakes, iguanas just swimming around everywhere in there. I got photos of it all. I made my son go dive in it in the middle of the night. We walked there. We weren't on our normal sleeping schedule. So I'm like, hey, let's go jump in their bio pool. And he was terrified, but we did it. It's enjoyable traveling with the in-laws because, you know, at the start of the trip, my wife made all of us like hold hands and you know, repeat after her. I will try things. I will be open-minded. Yeah. Okay. And that goes out the window as soon as the first restaurant brings my mother-in-law a fish head. She starts freaking out. But my father-in-law, on the other hand, is just everything is the greatest thing he's ever tasted. You couldn't believe. You have to try this roll, honey. It's so delicious. Which is funny because he'll try stuff and that's fun to hang out with. But it's like we also know he enjoys a bag of circus peanuts.
That's great.
If you get him talking about the first Burger King that was opened in Fort Pierce, he acts like it's the greatest hamburger that was ever created. So I don't really give him that much credit. I think it's funny though. I laugh the whole time in my head of like that I'm responsible for some of these people.
Who was the best person to travel with?
Me, because I can afford everything.
Of course. I'm saying but who was the best travel partner?
You'd think I'd say my wife, because she does all the legwork. She knows what kind of restaurants I'll actually appreciate. So she can handle me and when I start losing it. But there's something about my son. He's got a real spirit about him, and he's very excited to try things and see things. And like he would go to a playground and just immediately play with a group of kids and, you know, could say 3 or 4 words maybe in Portuguese. And he'd be like, I made new friends, Dad. I'm like, oh, great. And that's fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
The people in Portugal, everybody talks about how nice they are. And they were pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they don't build on the beaches. When we were in Comporta, there's no it's not like Florida where every inch is just another dumb condo. It's just beach. The houses are inland farther. Pretty. You know, a 5-minute drive. It's just so pretty. I drove a bunch in Portugal. I rented a Nissan. I love driving kilometers. Just really makes you, oh man, I'm doing 110.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of my way.
Not sure what the conversion is.
No, I think that's 40, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like I felt like a real normal dude. How many times I'll set the line at 2, over or under, do you think that I was recognized in Portugal? Now, I got to remind people that I was scheduled to perform a beautiful theater that seated around 2,700. I sold around 64 seats in the opening weekend before canceling the show. Okay, how many times do you think over 2 or under 2 that I was recognized in Portugal? And it could be by American tourists as well.
Over.
Under. Look how I'm dressed, you idiots.
Look at you.
Under. Zero times.
Never, huh?
I was never recognized. Or they didn't care.
Or they're being cool about it. Yeah.
That's right. They're in Portugal. They're whatever.
George Clooney's here.
Like George Clooney's.
He's got a funny hat on.
That's the thing too. When I'm over there, I know that tipping isn't the same in Europe, but that's why I like it so much more, because I'm a big tipper in the U.S., so I'm still a big tipper there, and I just think it's fun. They're like, oh, no, you don't need to tip. But I do it. I do it constantly for everything. Breakfast buffet, throwing down €20 for my meal. They're just like, oh. And then anytime I walk in with the hat and the glasses, they're just like, there he is.
Over here, sir, over here.
They're like, we got your table ready for you. I'm like, there's somebody sitting there. They're like, get out of there.
This person's done.
This person's out of here. You're in. I loved it. I can't stop tipping. I was tipping. Well, the thing is, I never have cash. Now I've got euro. Anybody want to buy my euro off me? I'll give you a good deal so that I don't have to actually change it back.
Ooh.
How much euros do I have on me? We got, what's $4.95 plus 50?
$5.45.
That's $5.45?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to give me right now, let's make a deal, $500 for this?
Does Italy take euro?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, of course.
I don't know, man.
Yes, they do.
I'll do that.
You got $500?
Not in my pocket, but I can get it.
How are you going to get that?
How are you
Dylan?
going to get that kind of money? You can go outside.
You get your hand on $500. Yeah. Hang on, I'll be right back, guys.
Dylan's out in the parking lot doing God knows what to get $500. I don't want to hear about this.
We work with these people, Dylan.
That's not even a good rate?
That's a great deal.
You think that's a good deal?
It's $614 American.
So if he gives me $500, that's a great deal.
He's making some cash.
Good deal. All right, deal. I'll take your deal, Dylan.
All right.
You give me $500, you can have that right now. Thank you. I got everybody something for my travels.
What?
Well, not really, but it's stuff that I accumulated in my bag, and now that I'm home, I'm like, I gotta get rid of it. Pete handled a lot of logistics.
Pete,
come get your gift. You're gonna like that. Open that up. See what you can sit down just for a second. Oh, look at you already took it off the desk. I don't know. There's something written on the lemon.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
These are some bottle stoppers, decorative bottle stoppers. And look at that.
Look at this, Pete.
Ooh.
Look at this bottle stopper.
And it goes with this nice bottle.
Wait, you see it?
Yeah.
It's like a balding dude.
Yeah, look at it, Pete.
It's a bald. Look, hold that up next to your head. That looks just like Pete. That's a decorative bald. No, you got the face wrong way. There you go. There's a face on it. There you go.
Identical.
Put that in there.
Like twins.
And a nice bottle of wine from the place you stayed at.
Yeah.
They grow it on the property.
I hope so.
Look at that.
I don't know. Is that all that was in there?
Yeah.
All right, that's nice enough. Get out of here.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Dylan. Oh, I got some good stuff for Dylan here. This is for your trip to Italy. Here, I will, in good faith,
All right.
I'll give you.
Okay. I can Venmo you too. Or pay
I don't have Venmo.
Okay.
Jesus.
Tell him.
I don't know how to do that. So that was my.
I can give you
converters.
gold.
Ooh. All right.
You'll love those.
Oh,
that's good. That's
And my son made me take this shell home from the beach, and I'm like, why the fuck do I have this shell?
Cool.
There
Thank you.
Get out of here.
Dylan loves shells.
Oh, John, come on over here, John. I got good stuff for
coming
John.
in.
John, I just go for John's wife.
Oh, nice.
That's all. These are just fancy eye creams.
Okay.
Open that up. There's some good stuff in there, and they're, different lotions and
I
things.
have to give this to her?
You don't have to. And then these are the fancy lotions. I stayed in New York City. I took their. You can keep these. These are Mandarin Oriental.
Oh, I like that.
They do some good stuff. There's their lotions, but you'll like all that stuff.
Very nice.
Oh, she'll like that.
She'll like
You give her that bag.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that's all you got.
Thank you.
Oh, do you use this? I hate this.
Aesop?
This Aesop aftershave.
I do like it.
I hate it. All right, get out of here.
That's good.
Great. So I worked in New York for 3 days, and then we traveled for 5 days. Now, for me to do that, I got to have somebody hold down the fort. So who did I call? My wife is like, well, why don't we use my brother? He's in town. He lives here. He can work remotely. He'll stay at the house. He'll take care of the pets. Was that a good idea? I don't know. He has a lot to take care of. He's got Carl, of course, who is, I think, a delight. You know, he'll give you some false barks every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
The chickens, who I'll be honest with you, you don't have to do much for the chickens. And then there's my son's fish. You got to take care of Ponzu. Then there's Potato. Now, Potato, that's the big sell. He's getting bigger and bigger by the minute. And he's at 5:30 in the morning to 6 in the morning, his day begins. And you're not sleeping past it. Like, he wakes you up. He brings you outside. He gets mad at you. He'll knock water bowls over constantly if he's like in a mood. So that was tough sell. But he did it. Now, I came back. Everything, was alive. Plants included. I was shocked.
All right.
He was supposed to walk Carl every day. And then I asked him, when pressed, I said, did you walk him every day? He goes, well, we played outside in the backyard on some days. I'm like, well, that's not a walk. How many days did you not walk Carl?
Probably every other day.
Every other day you didn't walk him.
Yeah.
But every other day you did walk him?
Something like that.
You think you walked him at least 5 days, 10 days?
5 sounds good.
You know the only thing he used? He slept in my bed,
Mm-hmm.
and he used my toilet. He loved my toilet. I got a lot of good features on it.
Okay.
I even told him how to get the enema button to work. There's one like high pressure one that just if there's a nugget 6 weeks up, it'll get it.
Cleans you out.
It'll get it.
Good.
Man.
6 weeks.
All right, well, I haven't paid him yet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I should pay somebody to pet sit? What's the day rate, you think?
He stayed at the house,
He stayed at the house.
which is kind of like an
Like a
Airbnb.
resort.
My house is like a
You
resort.
got a jacuzzi?
Yeah.
Did you use the hot tub?
that's
Did he,
gotta
how many
factor in.
times did you use the hot tub, Chase?
Not enough.
How many times?
I don't know. Twice, maybe.
Twice?
But
I
no
know.
restricted access,
What would you
right?
charge for that?
What do you guys? What's a fair rate to give him?
How many days?
14 total days.
I mean,
Hey,
I
throw him
feel like
100.
he's on vacation.
$100 a day?
No, I mean, like, he's staying at a resort, so I feel like he's putting in a little bit of work,
$10
You're
bucks.
walking the dog half the
Give him
time.
$10 bucks.
Thank you.
He asked for 150 a day.
Oh,
I was thinking 100 a week, but
100 a day.
100.
100 a day
100
is
a
what
day
you
is
guys
all
think.
right.
Interesting.
That's fair. I had a pig too, by the way. Just so you guys know.
The pig is a tough
He's a
sell.
bad-
The pig's the
Oh,
big
all right.
one,
Well,
yeah.
maybe 125.
All right. Well, I'm somewhere between the 150 and 100. I'm thinking 2,000 for the whole trip.
Oh.
I mean, he just agreed. I heard it.
Sold.
I don't
Agreement
care
to
if he agrees. I'll change it if I get. Now, some people will be like, "Oh, I would do it." Yeah, but it's like I have to have somebody that I kind of trust,
Right, absolutely.
and at least
agree.
somebody that I can torture if things go awry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of responsibility. Well, listen, I pulled it off. Got the family home safe. Everybody was thrilled that they got to experience this adventure. By the way, the whole time I was there, I kept saying, we have to go out one night for date night because our anniversary is coming up this week so that it can be our anniversary. And she agreed to this. But then we could never settle on a place, and we always just brought the kids with us, so it didn't count. So now, 4 days after this vacation of a lifetime, I have to take her out again.
Paris?
No, I just have to go to dinner.
It's not you, Eddie. He's not going to fly across the
Just go
world.
to Paris.
Yeah, Eddie's just like, whoa, whatever. You go anywhere. It's not that hard. In hindsight, was that too much on your body? Was
Yeah,
that too much flying?
I was miserably tired. I was sore. Like, for me, it really beat me up.
Here's my thing with traveling. Whether you're on a PJ, whether you're in wide front or
Go big white front.
or middle narrow back, just the dull headaches that you get from being in a plane
Oh, God.
are just maddening. It just doesn't matter. I'm like, traveling is not fun. Well, I can't wait to share with you my family vacation next year. Maybe I'll share my other family, my secret family. I got a secret family. I take them on vacations too. But usually that's more like a Great Wolf Lodge type of family. Tosh Show. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals. Every ticket purchase is backed by their buyer guarantee. Now, when I went out to Indian Wells last week for the tennis tournament, at first I asked for free tickets from my agents. When they declined, then I went to SeatGeek. Found exactly what I was looking for. I'm sure at this point in the ad, you're hoping for a discount, and you know I came through for you guys. You can use code TOSH10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off tickets with promo code TOSH10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. Tosh Show. Well, I want to thank my wife and 2 children, and my father-in-law and mother-in-law, and my wife's cousin for going on a great trip, all expenses paid by me. We missed you, Carl. By the way, do you find this shirt horribly offensive? Because it is sheer. I don't know if you can see this, but I can get my nipple to pinch through. Like, I hope you know at home that I would never really wear this shirt. This is hideous. This is Carrie fucking with me. You see that?
Ooh, hot.
I don't have a big nipple.
You touched.
Super
Yeah,
tiny
Josh,
nipples.
Just give it a jingle.
Smallest nipples in the business.
I don't have a big nipple.
No.
Also don't have a lot of feeling in my nipples.
Okay.
There's some guys that like their nipples played with. That's not me. Nope, I don't like it. We got a few things to plug. We got the toshshowstore.com. You know, I saw a guy at, I think it was the New York show. Ugh. It might have been New Brunswick. I feel bad. He was like 6 rows deep, and I'm pretty sure he had a Carl shirt on, and I didn't give him one of these. And I should have. My bad. But if if you wear one of those shirts and I see you out in public, you're going to get some attention from me. All right, what else? We got our tours, Eddie's tour, my tour. I'm going to be in Vegas this weekend, and then we're doing the big Midwest tour in June. By the way, added shows in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's a good market. Come out and see me in Milwaukee. And then Madison. I added a show there, but now Madison, I might have done you dirty, but I don't know if it was the building or availability or whatever, but we added a show, but we had to put it earlier. So now it's basically a matinee. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Come see Eddie and I and Carl in Madison, Wisconsin on a Sunday late afternoon. And then after the show, well, I can't do anything because I have to do my first show, which is later than my second show. It's confusing. The point is I'll be in bed by 10:30 that night.
Yes, great.
All right, so Madison, Milwaukee, you guys come out. Chicago, you've shown your support. All right, what else? Let's do the free plug. Hit the free plug music. Oh, look at that. Some trumpet. Look at strong trumpet music. You know who can play the trumpet? Our friend Danny. Anyway, this week's free plug is for Pedro's south of the border. First of all, I didn't know it was called Pedro's south of the border. That's a little problematic, a little racist. South of the border. It's that place between North Carolina and South Carolina where you get your fireworks. They got 300 billboards each direction. I used to always see it as a kid when we would drive up, me and my surfer buds. We'd do like a summer week in Hatteras. That was our big surf trip up to Cape Hatteras. And you'd stop and get your Roman candles. Oh, that was fun. Anyway, I'm glad to see that place is still in business. Pedro's, south of the border. I never called it Pedro's. The logo seems a bit racist too. Whatever. That's where if you're going to have a problematic logo and name, you do it in that part of the country. Those people don't care. Mm-hmm. You know, you change the Cleveland Indians logo because it's horribly offensive, but you see this Pedro logo and you're like, well, that probably should be fixed as well. Anyway, your first stop will be Fort Pedro Fireworks. You can load up on all kinds of explosives. They also have plenty of attractions to entertain the whole family. Oh, I didn't know that. I always just went for the fireworks. Maybe a little gas. They have an observation tower. It's over 200 feet high. Whoa. You probably can see all the way to Kitty Hawk. That's nearby, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not nearby,
Well,
but
sure, you might
that's
up
that's
there
got
you see it.
that's got to be the
North Carolina?
one of the highest, elevations. How high was Kitty Hawk? Were they were just gliding a few feet off the ground?
I believe so.
Yeah, it wasn't that
A
impressive.
little bit of a hill.
There's a glass elevator, gives riders a full view of the grounds. There's a Pedroland Park, fun rides just for the kids, and there's a reptile lagoon, the largest indoor reptile display in the U.S. That's because it shouldn't be inside.
Right?
That's just dumb. All right, so these guys are idiots. Also grab a bite of their fine eating establishments. They got the, what is it, Polanco's Bar?
Mm-hmm.
Polanco's Bar and the Sombrero Room restaurant. They also have Peddler's Steakhouse and Pedro's Ice Cream Fiesta. What else? Can you get an abortion south of the border? No, you cannot. For that, you're going to need to go due north of the border. Keep going till you see, people with normal haircuts.
That's how you can tell. That's a good tell.
And you'll be all right. You can't. This is why we do free plugs, because you rarely will a paid plug want you to talk about if you can get an abortion at their establishment. They have over 6,000 signs that have been plastered all along the highways 200 miles out. Why go to a boring rest area just to gas up and pee when you could entertain the whole family for hours at Pedro's south of the border? That's great. I really do recall one time getting Roman candles at south of the border late at night. My friends and I were in his parents' van. We borrowed it. It was the Osmonds van. I was good friends with Allison. We were boyfriend and girlfriend in 7th grade, but we never kissed. Doesn't matter. But our younger brother went with us on this surf trip, and we got him to use we got him to bring his parents' van. It was one of those Mark V vans.
Oh, yeah.
Those big vans. Anyway, I shot Roman candle inside of it. Yeah, it was a bad idea. I think I singed some of the seats. I'm going to apologize to Dr. Osmond for that one. That was my fault. Also, you know what I did there? We bought some stink bombs from south of the border, and I shattered the glass vial in a small thermos.
Yep.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Then I would just occasionally on the trip crack open the thermos and just do a little air out and then put it back on. I thought that was like the nice way to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
stink
Dirty
bombs.
stink bomb.
That was fun. Anyway, south of the border. See you guys next week. Tosh Show. Tosh Show.